Welcome to a new episode of Western companies. Samsung is a chaebol, a family conglomerate that is passed down through generations, much like how Zuckerberg might hand his empire over to one of his children. The Samsung family is the most powerful family in South Korea. In fact, Mikey Lee, the producer of the Oscar-winning Korean film, Parasite, is also a member of the Samsung family. She has been instrumental in bringing Korean culture to the world stage. Getting back to Samsung, being a chaebol means a great deal of control is concentrated in the hands of the Lee family. However, this concentration of power within the Lee family has created significant turbulence over the years. Numerous corruption scandals and legal battles have tarnished Samsung's image. As Jeffrey Kane, author of Samsung Rising, points out, every leader of Samsung has been in and out of court. They have been accused, or convicted, or imprisoned for tax evasion, bribery, embezzlement, or perjury. One of the biggest scandals broke in 2017, when the conglomerate's heir, Lee Jae-yong, was embroiled in a shocking bribery network. Lee was accused of bribing $38 million to 4 companies run by a close friend of the then president. Remarkably, one of those companies was in Germany and provided equestrian training for one of the president's friend's daughters. In return, Lee would receive government support for a company merger, further consolidating his power within Samsung. This scandal shook the confidence of both the public and investors. However, by 2020, Among Samsung Electronics' core divisions, there are two main ones. One is the Device Experience division. Picture. Unfortunately, they are completely missing. As a major semiconductor company, Samsung has fallen behind in the production of high-bandwidth memory, HBM. HBM is a specialized type of chip used in high-end graphics systems like the NVIDIA H100. Systems that are powering AI. The latest generation of HBM chips, HBM3E, boasts data transfer rates of up to terabytes per second. In a critical deal, Samsung was supposed to be producing these specialized memory chips for NVIDIA's chips, a crucial element in NVIDIA's AI efforts. But in one of the biggest blunders of the year, reports indicate that Samsung completely failed. Their chips couldn't meet the rigorous heat and power efficiency requirements that NVIDIA demanded. That was a major blow. Failing to secure such a major customer has consequences. And for Samsung, those consequences have been incredibly costly. Meanwhile, rivals like SK Hynix have quickly seized the opportunity and now hold the leading position in the HBM market. They are currently the exclusive supplier of this type of chip to NVIDIA. If you look at the HBM market charts, you'll see Samsung's white line consistently at the bottom, far behind their smaller competitors in the HBM segment. Samsung knows they're falling behind, and they recently issued a public apology, acknowledging their mistakes and struggles in the field of high-performance AI memory. Investors continue to be disappointed with Samsung's most recent quarterly profits, which fell short of expectations by $900 million. Although they still earned $6.78 billion. Not something to sneeze at. Missing out on almost $1 billion clearly doesn't sit well with investors. Samsung has entered red alert status. Vice Chairman Jun Young-yun's recent statement candidly admitted that failing to meet market expectations has heightened concerns about Samsung's technological competitiveness and future direction. This unvarnished admission underscores the crisis that Samsung's leadership themselves are acknowledging. And it even led the company to adopt a 6-day workweek for executives, in an effort to regain lost market share. In short, Samsung, a chip-making giant, was caught sleeping when AI chip hardware took off. And investors are not happy. Beyond AI, Samsung's chip business is also facing major challenges in the smartphone chip sector. The Exynos chip has been a thorn in Samsung's side for years. The Exynos processor has consistently been criticized for issues like overheating, poor battery performance, and overall performance that lags behind Qualcomm's Snapdragon chips. In fact, Samsung has lost so much confidence in Exynos that they often choose Snapdragon over Exynos, particularly in their high-end Galaxy devices sold in crucial markets, especially North America. Samsung's biggest competitor is none other than TSMC, the Taiwanese giant who has completely mastered the chip manufacturing field. Samsung's semiconductor business is a beast, generating nearly $60 billion in revenue in 2024 alone. However, They consistently find themselves one step behind. All of this adds up to Samsung's worst nightmare, as challenges are coming from all sides. Underneath these difficulties, Samsung is also Let's take a step back and evaluate whether this stock market slump is an overreaction or simply a momentary panic. Yes, they lost $122.2 billion in market value. And the top leadership is definitely in a panic. But are things really that bad? Samsung's core strength lies in its diverse portfolio. Some sectors may be negatively affected over time, but others can shoulder the company's operations. In this case, the sector most heavily affected is Samsung Electronics. When considering their recent earnings, we can see revenue of $59.3 billion, up 7% from the previous quarter. However, operating profits decreased by $6.9 billion due to one-off expenses, including incentives in the semiconductor division. Their earnings also have a few bright spots, like smartphone and display technology sales. Overall, while Samsung Electronics faces many challenges, particularly in memory and semiconductor chips, it's not all bad news. The stock sell-off is largely a vote of no confidence in the company's leadership and direction. The stock market often looks to the future, not entirely based on what's happening at this moment. So, Samsung has been on a rollercoaster ride recently. The current situation may not be a company-level extinction event, but losing $122 billion in such a short period is a massive blow. As mentioned, if the leadership can't steer the ship back on course, they could be at risk for much more. However, it's important to remember that the stock market is volatile. It's driven by many factors including changes in the global economy, investor sentiment, and even short-term events. However, the too big to fail mindset doesn't always ring true. I'm not saying that Samsung is on the verge of collapse like Nokia in 2013, but it's clear they have a lot of work to do. Ultimately, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So, what do you think about this story? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. And that's all we have for this episode today. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to check out any of our other videos. So if you are one of these people, thank you for always supporting us. I really appreciate it. Thank you and have a good one.